Hey guys, today we're going to talk about potassium again. I'm just really fascinated with this mineral. You may not be very excited about it, but I think it's really interesting. I want to talk about the fact that potassium has the ability to protect your kidneys, heart, and arteries. Now, we're told the opposite. We're told that potassium might cause kidney damage, but that would only occur if you have chronic end-stage kidney failure. Okay, that's rare. What about in every other situation? Now, there's one study I want to mention. I put a link down below. And yes, it was done in mice, but check this out. They deprived mice of potassium for 2 to 6 weeks. That's it. And they actually found kidney damage. The kidneys were filling up with fat, becoming calcified, atrophied, it means it shrinks, necrotic, it was breaking down. And basically it creates necrosis of the filtration unit, which is degeneration of the filter. And that's what the kidney is. It's a filter. It filters your blood. And here's another study. I'll put the link down below. And this is quite incredible. It talks about potassium protecting against stroke. It allows cerebral arteries, that's arteries of your brain, to carry blood at high pressure without damage. This is incredible because so many people are at risk for stroke, especially diabetics, especially people with blood sugar issues. And it's such a simple fix. You consume more potassium foods. And we can't forget blood pressure. Potassium has the ability to lower blood pressure and decrease the risk of kidney stones. I mean, how many people are on blood pressure medication and they're not told to increase their potassium? They're not told to increase their vegetables. They're told to decrease their sodium. Decreasing your sodium has like this much effect. Increase your potassium has a much larger effect on blood pressure. All right, now let's talk about potassium deficiencies and what causes them. Number one, a low potassium diet. The person's not consuming enough vegetables. Laxatives, diuretics, which people take to lower blood pressure when the actual cause is low potassium, but the diuretic depletes the potassium. All right, cortisol. Now, in the form of prednisone, which is a medication, which is an anti-inflammatory, or just high levels of cortisol from the adrenals. And this is the stress hormone that can deplete potassium. All right, and diabetes, okay, from several mechanisms. From the standpoint of stored glucose as glycogen. In order to store glycogen, you need potassium. So if you don't have enough potassium, you're not going to be able to have enough glycogen. And then you're going to have blood sugar problems, okay? So you're going to have highs and lows from that alone. When you have insulin resistance, you can't absorb potassium that well. Usually diabetics become diabetic because they're eating too many refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates are a lot of carbohydrate in the refined state without potassium. Like, for example, table sugar. Now, cane sugar, by the way, if you consume cane sugar as a whole food, it is loaded with potassium. Molasses has a lot of potassium. That's the waste product from sugar. But the pure refined white sugar is completely void of potassium. So when you consume it, you deplete yourself of potassium because one of the symptoms of a high pulse rate is low potassium. Then we have other refined carbs in the form of wheat. When you take whole grain, you usually get some potassium. But when you refine it, you deplete the potassium, not to mention the B vitamins and other nutrients. The symptoms of potassium deficiency are not only high blood pressure, but fatigue and loss of stamina. You don't have that endurance like you had at one time. Leg cramps, constipation, and there's many others. But the bottom line is if you want to protect your kidney, your arteries, and your heart, start consuming more vegetables. I'm going to recommend salads and other greens, but realize that we need 4,700 milligrams per day. Okay, that's a lot. You would have to consume 7 to 10 cups of salad or vegetables each day. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So if you want more knowledge on how to create a healthy body, subscribe now and get daily notifications. Daily notifications, that sounds weird. Well, I'll just remind you on a daily basis. How about that? Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore. actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's some only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.